Have you heard the news of Serena Williams' announcement of her retirement from her professional tennis career? Are you a curious fan wondering why she has made this difficult decision? If so, stick around to learn all the details as to why Serena is retiring and where she plans on heading next in her life, and if it's expected for her to break the record for the 24 Grand Slam wins. First up, is Serena really going to be gone for good? Over this summer, Williams' career seemed to be already declining at a steady pace, with her not being given a spot on the entry list for the Wimbledon tennis tournament, falling off the WTA rankings, and not having a full-time presence on the WTA tour in several years. It seemed the end of her career was already in sight. However, she made a comeback to the court unexpectedly, picking up the racket once again. She entered a few grass court tournaments, giving her fans hope that she was returning to her almighty career. But inevitably, she has finally given an official announcement of her retirement at the age of 41 in an essay she wrote for Vogue. Her retirement will come into effect after this year's US Open, which is this coming Monday. Serena also is gravitating towards focusing on Serena Ventures, a VC firm created by Williams in 2014. This small investment firm of 6 people has raised $111 million in outside financing this year. Williams wrote that only 2% of venture capital goes to women, and that in order for us to change that, more people who look like me need to be in that position, giving money back to themselves. So why is Serena retiring? Serena has always had a persistent inner drive to be the best on the court, though it has been shown that she is not the player she used to be. She did not mention these details in her essay. However, the scoreboard speaks for itself. In the 2 matches she competed in since her announcement, one in Toronto against Belinda Bencic and the other in Cincinnati against Emma Raducanu, she got hard defeats. This is much out of the ordinary for this 23 Grand Slam titled athlete. It was increasingly obvious in these games that she wasn't showing what she once could. Serena is 41 years old. She's getting older, which comes with being slower and not being in the best shape as she once was. These are harsh realities that all athletes have to face and come to terms with. Serena says the main reason for her retirement is to focus on family. Her soon-to-be 5-year-old daughter has been asking for a sibling, as she wants to be an older sister. In an Instagram post made in August, Williams says, "I have to focus on being a mom, my spiritual goals, and finally discovering a different but just as exciting Serena. I'm going to relish these next few weeks." Williams and her husband, Alexis Ohanian, have been trying to have a second child for the past year. Fortunately, they have recently received some exciting news from their doctor that they should be able to add to their family when they're ready, putting their minds at ease. Moreover, she explains that she does not want to be pregnant and an athlete again, as she must be all in the career or all out. Up next, why does Williams feel that female athletes are forced to retire early? As much as Serena is happy to focus on her family, she does seem to have some tension around her decision. She explains that it is unfair for women to have to choose between their careers and family. In fact, motherhood is often the main reason that women end their sports careers. There are many older views that are forced upon female athletes that they must have children inevitably in their lives and that they must give up their beloved sport and become selfless mothers, as if they are not good mothers if they do not give up their careers. Men did not receive nearly as much pressure on this subject, as it is acceptable for male athletes to continue their careers even while being a parent. Women also have to endure the grueling physical impacts of pregnancy and childbirth, which can come with missing several months of training and competitions, something men simply do not have to deal with. Financial aspects are also increasingly difficult for mothers as professional athletes. After women become mothers, they often experience a lack of financial support from sponsors, and many stakeholders have the same opinion. They all assume that pregnancy and motherhood means the decline and eventual end of their careers, causing funding to be often cut and even removed completely. So if Williams was a man, would she have retired? In the already mentioned self-authored essay published in Vogue, Williams wrote, "If I were a guy, I wouldn't be writing this because I'd be out there playing and winning while my wife was doing the physical labor of expanding our family." It is quite obvious that if Williams was, in fact, a man, she would not have retired. It has been shown that many male athletes have chosen to continue their sports careers, even after becoming a father. This includes Novak Djokovic, a Serbian professional tennis player who is currently ranked world number 6 in singles by the Association of Tennis Professionals. He has said that fatherhood has actually been good for his competitive play. Keep watching along closely. We've got everything you need to know about the possibility of Serena Williams tying for the record of Grand Slam wins. Don't go anywhere. It's coming right up. Up next, what will Serena do do after tennis. As recently mentioned, Serena is still going to be a very successful woman beyond her sport with her small but growing firm, Serena Ventures. This firm is scattered between Florida, where she lives, Texas, and California. Serena Ventures has funded Tonal, Impossible Foods, Noom, and Isuzu. 78% of the firm's investments are companies started by women and people of color, because that's who we are, she writes. Serena Ventures was an all-female business until recently, when they brought in the first guy into the company. Williams also wrote in her essay that less than 2% of VC money goes to women. She was absolutely appalled by this fact. It has pushed her even more in the development of her firm, as she wants to change this fact, having more people like her give money back to themselves. So, could Serena break the record for the 24 Grand Slam wins? Serena Williams has had quite the journey towards her goal of breaking the 24 Grand Slam wins record set by the famous Margaret Court in 1973. When Williams won her 23rd Grand Slam singles title 5 years ago at Melbourne Park, number 24 seemed like a sure thing. Being 35 years old at the time, she became the oldest woman to win a major championship. But the world would come to know she was carrying a heavy secret at the time. Well, more like a heavy child. Serena was nearly 2 months pregnant, but she did not confess for another 3 months. The arrival of her baby girl, Alexis Olympia Ohanian Jr., left Serena with responsibilities far beyond tennis. She did not go on to play the next 4 Grand Slam events, and since then has gone 0 for 10 in her attempts to equal Margaret Court's all-time record of 24. Now in 2022, it seems that the dream of breaking the 24 Grand Slam wins record, or even equaling it, is just too far out of reach. Earlier this year, Serena's coach, Patrick Mouratoglou, stated that she will not stop until she at least equals the Grand Slam record. However, since the preceding fall in her career and her recent announcement of her retirement, it seems Serena's name may not be on this grand title. Furthermore, Williams lost at the Australian Open on Friday. Hence, she will have to wait until at least the French Open to equal Margaret Court's record of 24 Grand Slam singles titles, let alone beat the record. There are still many up-and-coming young athletes that could be candidates, having their younger age as an advantage over Williams. Lastly, will Serena miss her beloved sport? Serena Williams has had a racket in her hand ever since she was 3 years old, and since then, she has definitely had stars in her eyes for the court. It does not seem she will rise to the tying or the breaking of the 24 Grand Slam title wins, but who knows? Serena is no stranger to surprising her fans and making crazy comebacks. Don't go as far as to underestimate the great Serena Williams. Will Serena miss her time in the spotlight? Of course, but as stated, she is excited about the new chapter in her life. I have never liked the word retirement, she wrote in her essay. Maybe the best word to describe what I'm up to is evolution. She is moving on to evolve her life into even bigger things, because Serena could never be small. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Serena's up-and-coming retirement announcement. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Serena will surely be missed on the court, but we're all excited to see where she goes next.